imaginations, excite in the delight of your emotions. Surrender to the lens of your desires. Deny yourself.
Well, Brother Spencer, if you didn't tell the Abbott about the Iron Maiden CD in my room, who did?
Well, nobody told on you, Brother Perceval. It was your fault for playing it so loud. And anyway, what were you doing playing it when you were supposed to be in Vespers? Bothersome.
What appears to be the trouble, Your Grace?
Well, it's those workmen who've turned up to install the fire alarms in our rooms.
Workmen? Fire alarms?
Well, yes, well, weren't you told either?
No, what exactly were they doing?
It was so embarrassing. I mean, there was a knock on my door, and I thought it was you, so I opened it, and there stood these two workmen. I just happened to be trying on a new corset, which I ordered. They looked at me in a most peculiar way.
Corset?
Well, a basque then. It was black, with purple.
No, I don't want to know that.
Well, anyway, I asked them if they could give me a moment or two to dress. Anyway, a few moments later, they returned. They talked about trunking and whatever. They said they'd have to move the wardrobe. Well, you know that big heavy thing. Well, they decided that it would be easier if they removed the drawers out of the bottom of it, you know. Well, of course, that's where I keep my special underwear and things. It's so embarrassing. Well, in the end, I came out and left them to do what they were doing.
They took everything out of the wardrobe?
Yes.
Are they fitting fire alarms in all the rooms?
I believe so.
Right. I'd better go back to my room and make sure everything is...
Oh, you mean there are certain items which need to be removed? Well, John, since you're heading that way, would you mind asking my nephew, I mean, young Edwin, to pop down and to see me? I want to ask his opinion on the use of profanities and whether or not he feels as if he ought to mention it during his sermon on Sunday. I overheard a couple of monks recently, and some of their language was quite unholy.
Profanities? I can't get out of my head that parable he gave about Sodom and Gomorrah. The complaints we received.
Remind me of what was that about?
It went along the lines of...
Hello everyone, my name is Fr Edwin Crench, and I've been posted here as your a new vicar for the next few weeks, although it'll probably be just for today. Now, I have never been to this part of the country before, and I must say it's nice to see such a lot of people here. I have tried counting you all, but there are so many. There must be 60 or 70 of you, yeah. Now, I hope the people here are a lot kinder than some of those at my last few parishes. They were not very nice, and they called me all kinds of names. Some of the words they used sounded as if they were quite rude. On one occasion I was called the Antichrist. Someone also said my parables were piss poor. And a few times I've been called a dumbwit. I've also been called other horrible things as well. Some people have called me a dickhead. twat brain was another. Others have said I'm an utter gobshite, and I've also been called a total wank stain, whatever one of those is. Anyway. Onto today's parable. I have chosen the one about Sodom and Gomorrah. Rather unfortunate, that first word, as it's rude to say S-O-D, especially as there are quite a few children with us this morning. Now, the people of those towns were very naughty in God's eyes and did lots of rude things which displeased him. He said that he would destroy both towns in a cataclysm of fire, and that all the naughty and wicked sinners would burn to death. Now, I don't know where these towns were. I've had a look in my road atlas, but they don't appear to be in this country. I presume they must have been abroad. Thinking about it, they may have been in Scotland, because those names do sound a bit Scottish. Anyway, God spared a man called Lot and his family on the condition that they left the town immediately and they didn't look back. But Lot's wife did look back. Can't remember her name. It may have been Yvonne. Anyway, she looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt. And Lot said, "Oh, that is a shame." One thing about, I was told before I came to this area, was there's some salt mines nearby, and my girlfriend Gillian is now speaking to me again, and she said this is what the area is famous for. She said the reason why is because there are so many rich people here who live here, and they do very wicked and rude things and dirty things, and God has turned them into pillars of salt as well. And Gillian, she told me to be very careful while I'm here, and to bathe twice a day in holy water, because the wicked people might hurt me. But I told her not to worry. But she said that the people in the town eat a lot of salt, that they put it in their vegetables and they eat it on their chips, and she said that amounted to cannibalism because they're eating their own kind. And she said that if anyone threw salt over me, I was to run away as quickly as possible, and I wasn't bothered to going to the police because they eat salt as well. And she started to cry. Then she had one of her turns where she has to sit down and breathe into a brown paper bag, and I didn't know what to do, and so I called her mummy, and she said, "Have you been upsetting Gillian again?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And she says, "Well, if you have, I will slap you hard on the willy." And I didn't want her to do that because the last time it made me cry and it hurt, and I didn't want, and I couldn't do wee-wees properly for a week. And that is the end of the parable for today. God bless everyone. Amen. Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember now. Quite a lot of trouble, I seem to recall. Well, perhaps I shall ask him to talk about something else, something a little less controversial.
Perhaps it would be best if he said nothing at all.
Oh, really, John? As I have said before, young Edwin may be a bit unorthodox, but he does bring over the message very well in his unique way.
Orthodox? Unique? He's an idiot.
Are those workmen in your room?
What? I must, yes, right.
Yes.